Nextly, emergency provisions. The central government has been vested with the extraordinary powers to deal with the conditions of emergency. Three types of emergencies are envisaged in our constitution. First, national emergency. National emergency, Article 352 says about the President under Article 352 can declare emergency if he is satisfied that India's security is threatened due to war, external aggression, or armed rebellion, or if there is an imminent danger or threat. Here, imminent means about to happen. Okay. Aggression means violent behavior, readiness to attack or confront. Okay. When a national emergency is declared on the ground of war or external aggression, it is known as external emergency. On the other hand, when it is declared on the ground of armed rebellion, it is known as internal emergency. This type of emergency has been declared 3 times so far in 1962, 1971, and 1975. Secondly, state emergency. The state emergency describes in our constitution Article 356. Under Article 356, the President can declare an emergency in a state if governor reports that a situation has arisen under which government of a state cannot be carried on in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. In accordance with the provisions of the Constitution. The continuance of such an emergency beyond 1 year is possible only if emergency under Article 352 are in operation or the Election Commission certifies that there are difficulties in holding assembly elections. Maximum duration of the emergency can be 3 years. In this kind of emergency, the states lost much of their autonomy. The state lost much of their autonomy in legislative and executive matters. After such an announcement, state legislature is suspended and the state is governed by the governor on behalf of the president. For the first time, the president rule was imposed in Punjab in 1951. Third emergency, financial emergency. Financial emergency described in our constitution, Article 360. Article 360 authorizes the president to declare a financial emergency if he is satisfied that the financial stability or credit of India or of any of its parts is in danger. In this type of emergency, salaries and allowances of any class of persons serving state or union, including judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, can be reduced by on order of the President. This type of emergency has not been declared in India so far. Okay. Nextly, amendment of the Constitution. Amendment of the Constitution. The term amendment denotes change, improvement, and modification. Usually, this term is associated with one or more changes made in the constitution of a country. Article 368 of the Constitution, in Part 20, deals with the powers of Parliament to amend the Constitution and its procedures. Here, procedures means an established or official way of doing something. Okay. Next, procedure of amendment. An amendment of this Constitution may be initiated only by the introduction of a bill for the purpose in either House of Parliament. And when the bill is passed in each House by a majority of the total membership of that House and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of that House present and voting, it shall be presented to the President, who shall give his assent. Assent means consent to the bill, and thereupon the Constitution shall stand amended in accordance with the terms of the bill. The Constitution amendment can be brought about only by the Parliament. State legislatures cannot initiate for any amendment to the Constitution. State legislature cannot initiate for any amendment of the Constitution. Okay. Nextly, types of amendments. Article 368 provides for three ways of amendments, that is, by a special majority of Parliament and also through the ratification of half of the state by simple majority. Here, ratification means the action of giving formal consent to a treaty or agreement. Okay, but some other articles provide us for the amendment of certain provisions of the Constitution by a simple majority of Parliament. That is, a majority of the members of each House present and voting. Legislative voting. Notably, these amendments are not deemed to be amendments of the Constitution for the purpose of Article 368. Therefore, the Constitution can be amended in three ways. First way, amendment by a simple majority of the Parliament. Second way, amendment by a special majority of the Parliament. Third way, amendment by special majority of the Parliament and the ratification of half of the state legislatures. Okay, these are the types of Constitution amendments. Lastly, Constitutional Reforms Commission. The National Commission to review the working of the Constitution was set up by a resolution of Government of India in 2000, headed by M.N. Venkatacharya. In April 2007, a three-member commission headed by the former Chief Justice of India, M.M. Punchi, was set up by the then government to take a fresh look at relative roles and responsibilities of various levels of government and their interrelations. Okay, students, the first unit is over. We will meet the next session.